agree with you.
not all Formula movies are bad. I'll just say that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not all what movies?
Formulaic.
Oh, right.
Formula.
Yeah. And this is the formula. This is the Rocky formula. You know, it's like there's a lot of different parts.
It
of
is
Rocky
a
formula.
soft reboot of Rocky.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, and I didn't know this before I watched this, I have a apparent tremendous amount of affection for this character.
Rocky
Yeah,
Balboa.
right.
And this movie did a very good job milking the shit out of it in a way that did not make me feel gross.
Yeah.
I think the performances are
They
really,
basically
really
got him
good.
to be what's his name, Burgess Meredith, right?
Yeah, more
Yeah,
a
I
little
think
bit.
I think
Less
Michael
wiry.
B. Jordan is really fucking good in this. I think
is.
Tessa fucking Thompson.
Tessa Thompson is really fucking good in this. So
He's always
Stallone
good.
is really good in this.
Everybody's good. Stallone is, I mean, he's so, his tone is so right. You know that scene where he's about to be it's the night before the big fight.
Yeah.
And he sits down and he says, "I got something to ask you." And he's sort of clowning on him, like, because he brought his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And he hasn't told her. He hasn't told him yet that his girlfriend's on the other side of the door.
Yeah.
Stallone is so great
Yeah.
playing that little bit where he's like pulling his
He's
leg.
kind of doing like feet shuffles and
Yeah.
like kind of looking past him
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's like a little kid again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
and I know Scott did too, but I mean, I went back and I rewatched the original right afterward, and like this character has stayed remarkably
Yeah.
consistent.
No, it's you actually you watch it for that.
years.
You watch it and see how the character developed, and he's pretty much the same person. I mean,
Yeah, but it's an
whatever
older,
character it is,
wiser version of that schluck.
It
I
is.
know there's no
And
evolution. in this guy.
Stallone's an older, wiser
Yeah.
version of himself as an actor, I think.
But
Yeah.
also, it's like there's you watch the original Rocky to see where the beats are,
Yeah.
and the beats they're not identical, but they're very, very
Really
similar.
close.
Yeah,
And I thought at one point Stallone was having a conversation with him where he was like, I basically like, I've been where you're about to be, where plucked from obscurity to be thrown in a ring in front of a guy who's way more experienced. And I thought they would do more of that with that moment. Like,
Yeah.
let me talk to you about the first time I fought your dad.
Right.
Went 12 rounds and still lost. Like,
Right.
Actually, weird thing is, it went 15 rounds and still lost because they reduced it from 15 to 12.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. I thought like that was like that seemed like that was such a low hanging fruit to like at least nod to that a little bit.
Well, because they basically redid that same ending, I don't think they could do it. It would be too on the nose to say this is what happened, because it happens again.
Yeah.
well,
Oh,
but he also asked him, "Oh, I heard about a second fight."
Yeah.
A third fight.
Yeah,
Secret
the third,
fight.
the secret
Yeah.
third fight,
third fight.
which was the freeze frame at the end of Rocky 2, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it? I never saw Rocky 2. So.
I saw the first 4 in a theater.
Same here.
I don't
Well,
think I've
and-
seen, and actually I texted Tad immediately after this one, was like, apparently there's 2 more of these. Are they also good?
Well, it was weird because you watch
The second one is the third one is not.
Yeah. Rocky 1, the first original was like basically a new Hollywood film, gritty, 35 millimeter, widescreen.
Grainy as fuck.
But Rocky 4, I saw this in 70 millimeter. And it was in scope, and it looked like a science fiction movie. It was like the budget had grown so big.
Well, it is a science
It
fiction
is a science
movie because
fiction.
of all the shit they do with.
It's a boxing
Ivan
Terminator,
Drago.
basically. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All the shit they do
Oh,
with
is that
Ivan
the one with
Drago
Dolph?
is.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
like the punishment that Stallone takes in that movie is like,
Well, 2 things. One of the things about the Rocky films is there's the character shield. They do it after 2 and 3 and 4, where the character shield opens up a little bit and they push somebody out. I think Burgess Meredith's character died in 2, right?
correct.
Yeah, and in 3 it was
That's the Mr. T one.
Mr. T one, but I forgot who died.
Well, I just think Rocky loses a fight.
He loses a fight, but in 4, I think it was Apollo Creed got killed by Ivan
Correct.
Drago.
Yes.
So the thing is, this is consistent with that because you got Rocky Balboa on chemotherapy.
Yep.
And he's on his way out, and it's like
All really good scenes, by the way.
they are really
all
good
that
scenes.
stuff is really good.
He is not actively dead, but he's on. I don't think he shows up in the next one, right?
No, he does.
Wow.
He's the chemo works.
Oh, good.
I'm actually going to go watch it.
That's
I'm
I have to
the
watch
second
that.
one.
Oh,
I am going to watch.
I
the second
assumed
one.
that was like that's like the Camille character. Like he wouldn't come back.
I also want to mention that speaking of the acting a minute ago, the dude who plays Ricky Conlon and the dude who plays his manager
Both
are
really
both
good.
so good in
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Like, just like shitheads, just
Yeah.
like low class British shitheads.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but they have a bunch of money, so
Mhm.
they feel like they can
Yeah.
push people around.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
kept waiting for what's his name there from. No, sorry, go ahead.
Connolly, the guy that plays Connolly, has those sort of wild mad dog eyes. You know those starry eyes.
Yeah.
and when they get into it at the weigh-in, like it's like everyone's seen this shit. Like everyone's seen the like guy who's good at boxing versus the guy who's good at boxing who's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the guy who's good at MMA versus the guy who's good at MMA and crazy.
Yeah.
Like
It's
Coogler
homicidal.
Coogler does such a good job of weaving all of the modern concepts about these types of sports together, like the YouTube videos and the like social media call outs and the weigh-in fights and like all the stuff that didn't exist when the original movie was made, but now has invaded combat sports to the point that they're all just WWE matches. Like, and half of them are fixed anyway, so they are WWE matches.
My only note on this movie, Scott, get back in here, is I actually thought like we're so used to older movies being redone and with 21st, like I'm going like straight to like Top Gun Maverick. Like we're going to take an old movie, but we're going to redo it with 21st century filmmaking technology. I was slightly underwhelmed by the fight. Like I kind of expected that to be like, especially when I went back and I rewatched the first one. Like I don't feel like the level of craft and what's possible with, hidden CG and stuff. Like Rocky 1 in 76 looks like two actors pulling their punches in the ring, but it's still very effectively done. This one, I almost kind of expected it to be more brutal, and maybe they were trying to keep it to a PG, but it didn't make me feel. It didn't knock my socks off, the fight.
The 21st century change to this is the behind the shoulder camera.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I guess that was pretty
cool.
Yeah.
That's the thing you never got in any other fighting movie before this.
Right.
Is the camera getting into the ring behind him. And it does it multiple times. It starts when he gets into the ring at the boxing club in LA. And it continues through the rest of the movie of it getting in behind him. And you're seeing him throw those punches.
Almost.
That stuff was all right.
Yeah.
You're seeing like the sweat fly off of them as they get hit and stuff like that. And it's like, that's the high def 21st century thing about this movie.
Oh, I don't know, man.
I'll give it to this.
Flying Rocky 4 off of
I'll give it to this. I'll also give it to Cinderella Man if you've ever seen it. The boxing sequences in that film are incredible. You're right there and you just hear and see and smell everything.
But honestly, that's a minor note. I was like really shocked by how much I enjoyed this.
Yeah,
and
it's a lovely film.
I got something to add to sort of Chris's beef about the final fight, and that is that the first fight that he wins, which is Leo the Lion Spirito, right? That was a oneer. They stayed through. You watch that entire fight, and I don't believe there's a single cut, including when he takes a break between rounds and sits down. The camera never stops moving, and it never cuts.
Right.
And
they had to ESPN it up a little bit for the last one.
Yeah.
You've got
that's what I was going to say.
Kellerman calling the fight, and you've got cutting to the like
the audience. You see Tessa Thompson. You see
his mom watching at home.
Yeah, his mom watching at home. My feeling is like
the lower
that
third.
detracted. Like that first one was so visceral because it was an uninterrupted take and it knew never off the fight. that you saw every blow that landed. You saw every swing, and you saw every blow. Whereas this, I mean, there's 12 rounds. They couldn't really feasibly do it in real
because
time.
a 12-round fight would be almost as long as this entire
Right.
movie.
Yeah,
I understand
exactly.
the why of it,
Yeah.
but I also think it's somewhat less impactful as a result. Excuse me, as a
No,
result,
there's-
because it
there's
goes for
great
a
ways
more
of-
traditional filmmaking approach.
No, there's great ways of doing shortcuts in this kind of thing, where you like round 7, round 12, and you see these guys like just basically just getting mushed, in the thing. Well, I just
By the way, the makeup on his eye.
yeah, well, that was really well done. Yeah, and the only thing about this is it's like Rocky, but it's a little bit, I don't know. There's a certain it's kind of a 2015 sensibility about it. All the characters are well off in this, as opposed to Rocky, where everyone's like fucking dirt poor, except for Apollo Creed. That was interesting, and
But that's kind of where we're at.
I'm not going to
like-
argue that. That's where we're at right now. And think,
Yeah.
we're not going to get some woman who works some girl who works in a pet store. We're going to get, a person who sings in nightclubs and is like, first amount of glamour. It's like, so it went from like a working class to upper middle class or even upper class.
Yeah, and I had forgotten that until the rewatch.
And
that his family was well.
It was also tired up in other ways, like they're doing the famous. I was waiting for this whole movie for the training montage. They're gonna fly.
You got it. There's a few montages.
There were dudes on bikes going woo all around. And it was like, okay, you couldn't do better if you stuff fireworks, basically.
Scott, you put your finger on it. It's like that for me was like kind of the transition. Was that scene with the guys on the motorbikes going around? Yeah. Where this movie went from sort of being restrained and underplayed, and kind of almost
crank it up to 11,
almost minimalist. And it was like I think Coogler needed to take it, up, and so then he starts. Then he starts with the bag of tricks. It's like it starts being more like a Rocky movie. He starts bringing out the music. He starts bringing out the cutting. He does a montage. Then he does another montage.
Again, I think he's just following the beats. But go ahead.
You have to transition a little bit in that situation into because this movie is speaking to an audience that has watched modern boxing.
Yeah.
And that both of these people are getting paid enough money to never have to work again in their life.
That's true.
Like you have to ramp it up a little bit to be a bit more produced to get to the scene, which is my favorite moment in the entire movie, which is when Ryan Coogler, who is around my age, recreates the Homer Simpson Drederick Tatum intro from The Simpsons, where Homer comes out to "Why Can't We Be Friends?" and Drederick Tatum comes out to "Time for Some Action" by Redman. But instead, here he comes out to, oh god, I can't remember the name of the. But
you're talking about the walk-up songs?
Yeah.
I've forgotten already.
And he walks out to like.
I'll put some lower thirds in there, and I'll look it up.
Like some mid-level, like rising bars shit.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Pretty Ricky Conlon coming out, and he has the little person blowing the fucking fireball off the torch, and it's playing fucking Krypton Conan. Like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, you watch The Simpsons too, and you remember how funny it is that it's like this, like, I'm the guy wearing the American trunks, and I'm everyone's hero.
Yeah.
And this guy's an asshole because he listens to fucking hip hop. Like,
that's true. But going back to the montage scene with the bikes, that I'm not criticizing it. The thing is, I'm thinking about what Oakland was like in 2015. And that thing was really people got in motorbiking, going out and like running around and doing basically the sideshows, but with bikes. That was a big thing in Oakland at the time.
This is Philly, and they started that 10 years earlier.
Yeah. So it's actually he's making a cultural reference right in there.
So these are like these are teenagers who grew up in that culture who were like, yeah, let's fucking go.
That's right, pretty much. But,
I will say,
it's not criticism. It's just simply just updating the entire thing to a modern milieu.
Well, except that we haven't talked enough about like the core thing of this movie, which is he does not want to use his dad's name. Right. Like they do a really good job of consistently reminding you his motivation, starting when he's a little kid,
Mhm.
all the way to the end. And I just felt like they just kept coming back to that.
And the
And
conversation where it's like, we'll do this fight, but you have to use the name Creed.
yes,
Right.
and you just see like he really has a fucking swallows that one. Like it really
Yeah.
has to swallow that one.
Yeah.
But it's realistic.
On paper, maybe it wouldn't have, I mean, he sold the shit out of that idea and sold the shit out of it this entire running time to me.
Yeah. Although, I would kind of like say there's something kind of phony about someone like, I want to just do this for me and I want to use my dad's name, even though it's incredibly
Never
famous.
knew his dad.
Whatever. It like it and thing it doesn't it is one of those things that works in a movie but doesn't work in reality. But I can't say that because I just wrote a screenplay where the exact same gimmick happens. The main character is a bass player who is the granddaughter of Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys and does not want to be acknowledged for that fact the entire movie. So I can't say it's a trope. It works.
Well, I mean, a lot of
It
actors.
adds attention,
Dwayne
to and from
Johnson's
family.
Dwayne Johnson's daughter is not credited in WWE as being a Johnson or part of the Anoa'i family or anything like that. Like
Wow.
the idea of people wanting to step out from behind this sort of shadow that's cast.
Nicolas
by the-
Cage.
Yeah,
Nicolas
Nicolas
Coppola.
Cage.
Yeah.
Talia Coppola.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple
Like-
of Coppolas.
The people who are like, no, I want to be my own person. I don't want to be attached to this name. I think that's a very real motivation that a lot of people have.
But Rocky says to him,
especially in Adonis's case, where he's like, I never fucking knew him. He was never part of my life.
Right.
He says, "Don't do it for your dad." There's that speech where it's like you can't do this for anybody. You're supposed to do this for yourself.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
They could also, this is a unique situation on this show that we have 2015 and 2025, same directors, same lead actors. You can see them develop from one to the other. We should talk about the next one because we can refer to it, but that was, I think, the most fascinating part about it. Once I'd seen Sinners earlier, then I watched this, and I was like, oh, this is like this is a buildup in some ways. There you can see some limitations in how Michael, come on, with Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, he's got some limitations in his acting style. There's some places where he's not really emotive, but
but it worked for this. I thought.
But for most part, putting him in as a fighter and someone who's like kind of thing, it works. And just this is just before Black Panther, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he was
not long after Fruitvale Station, I think.
Yeah, and Fruitvale Station. So he definitely had the intensity, but we'll have to talk about it later on. But the other one, he definitely has a soul, but that's another story entirely. All right, take it away.
Jim, you got anything?
Yeah, I found myself enjoying it. I really don't give a rat's ass about sports, and boxing is probably my least favorite sport, but I found myself enjoying it. Actually, at the end, I decided that there wasn't enough boxing in it.
Weirdly enough,
too much B-roll.
That's beautiful, man. That's a beautiful.
There's even less boxing in Rocky.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
That weird thing. Like, I'm not a big sports fan, but there wasn't enough sports in the movie I just watched.
Yeah. Well,
I've been there. I know what you're talking about.
Oh God!
That's pretty funny.
Rollerball.
Rollerball. There you go.
It's the same thing I had with rollerball.
Exactly.
Now I like this enough to want to watch the second one almost immediately.
Did you watch Creed 2?
I will get to it.
I'm gonna.
It's also on HBO. I hope so.
Now Tad told me that Rocky's around for the second one. I definitely want to see it. So, this wasn't a gimmick. In other words, there's some more arc there. I want to see how it plays out.
I don't know why I remember this came out. It got great reviews, and for some reason, I just kind of put it in the. Well, get to that some.
Oh, you had never seen it.
I saw this in the theater.
Same.
And I was like, fuck yes. Like this is exactly the movie I wanted it to be.
That's great.
Oh, the Fruitvale Station's making a Rocky sequel with a black main character who's the guy from Fruitvale Station. Yeah, fuck yeah.
You're on board.
Yeah.
You punch your ticket on that one. All right, well,
yeah,
good.
I heard the buzz, and I went
praise.
to the theater. Even though, like Jim, I don't seek out sports movies, and I certainly wouldn't have picked a boxing movie if I was going to. And I went to see this based on the buzz, and it was like, damn, that was good.
Yeah, not all formula movies are bad.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, also boxing movies are so primal. It's like it's not almost not a sport. It's just two guys doing this. It's
I found myself sometimes thinking of Barton Fink, though, right? Since he's brought in
Oh,
to rewrite a boxing
interesting.
movie.
Wow, there's a
Where's my honey?
This is the movie that he's writing.
Yeah,
Pretty much. It took him that long.
Yeah.
You know what? Another good boxing movie that only Tad's probably seen is what's that one? Warrior.
Yeah, Warrior's good too.
Warrior's a good movie, and that's actually like Ultimate Fighting, not boxing, but it's got like.
I
really
like this better than Raging Bull.
Also,
Raging Bull.
what's the fucking robot boxing movie?
Robots?
With
the one with
Real Steel?
Real
Real Steel.
Real
I
Steel's
enjoyed the
awesome.
shit out of that.
Yeah.
If you want a sci-fi boxing movie, there you go, man.
I thought that was great.
It really is good.
It's
But it's a really
shockingly
good,
man.
it's a really good boxing movie.
Yeah.
Like it's not just a good movie, it's a good sports boxing
Yeah.
movie.
And Wolverine did not phone it in either. He was really good at that.
Commits to the bit.
Yeah.
I don't think Hugh Jackman has ever phoned it in anything.
No, he's
Like-
110%.
Yeah, in fact, he's even
Yeah.
more earnest in his musicals, which is weird.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go to cards.
I mean, I just like this was really fucking good.
It was enjoyable, and now I want to see the next one. So
Yeah,
it
for sure.
worked, man.